Well, I'm joined this morning by Tim Buckley, who is a member of our church and chair of our Endowment Committee. And so, Tim, if you don't mind, maybe introduce yourself for everybody.
Sure, Dave. Tim Buckley, my wife Susan and I have been members here at the church since about 1984. And when the children came along, we both thought it was important to get back into a church family. It was just a good feeling to be here.
Well, if you could say a little bit about the Endowment Committee too.
Sure.
What do you do? Who's on it?
Well, the Endowment Committee, it consists of about 5 or 6 of us, members here. What we do is we can help to decide where funds will go and when they will go to the different organizations that the endowment supports.
How large is our endowment?
Well, currently it's a shade under $1.5 million.
Wow, $1.5 million.
Yes.
And how much of that goes is paid out every year?
We are required to pay out 5% in order to maintain our status. And the endowment this last year, through the COVID, the last 2 summers, has distributed a little under $115,000 to various organizations.
The Endowment Committee said their theme for the day wanted to be educate and celebrate. So very simply, what do you want people to know?
Well, I want them to know, first of all, it exists. There might be new members, there might be other folks that just don't know it exists. And I want them to know that it exists. And it's something that they can, if they're inclined to want to support a mission or support a group, that the foundation is a good way to do that.
Yeah. And then to celebrate, what is it we especially want to celebrate this Sunday?
Bricks and mortar are important. The plant here is important, I get that. But what's maybe just as important, if not more, is missions. With the issue of COVID, the last 2, this could be a sea change for some groups. This could really make or break them, whether they're receiving, whether it's Fletcher House, whether it's the Children's Home in Lebanon. Because I suspect, I don't know this for a fact, but I suspect that some charitable donations have decreased due to the COVID issue. I mean, that's just logical if people are making less money. So we want to celebrate the fact that the endowment is able to maybe fill in those gaps.
For you personally, I mean, you're chair of the committee, and so this work is clearly important to you. So what is it about the endowment that speaks to you? Why do you give your time and energy to this?
And I thought about it. The word that came to mind for me was hope. I was very fortunate. I was very blessed. I grew up in a stable, loving family. I had hope as a young child. I had a happy childhood. I had hope as a young adult for my future. I'm a little older now, but I still have hope, not just for the present, but for the future. And Susan and I have hope for our children. We have hope for our grandchildren, for their futures. Well, there are a lot of children out there, a lot of adults that either haven't had that hope or they've lost it. And maybe in some small way, maybe in some big way, our endowment can either ignite or foster that hope that maybe they've lost or never had.
So if someone would want to be part of the endowment, what would they do?
Well, we have information on the website that they can follow the prompts and they can get information for that. There's also a brochure that should be available in the narthex. You may have already received, some members may have already received a copy of this brochure in the mail with their quarterly report. They can also contact anyone on our committee. I'd be glad to talk with them, or any other member of the committee would be more than happy to give them the information that they want. And there's one thing too I would like to point out. Through a generous donor who has a matching gift, We still have about $25,000 to be matched. So if people are inclined to give a smaller amount or a large amount, whatever they might be inclined to give, I'd like them to know that that money will be matched up to a total of $25,000. If we have $5 gifts or $500, whatever it might be, that will be matched up to $25,000 additional dollars.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks
Well,
for
you're
sharing
very
with us.
welcome.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.